I'm sure you've realized by now that the education you received in school massively under-prepared you for the real world. You might have thought, if school is meant to prepare me for adult life, then why did it leave out so many important things about money, relationships, and wellness? Well, that's because school isn't designed to prepare you for a healthy, fulfilling life. It's designed to make you a good employee. Luckily, we now have more access to education than at any other point in history. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you 5 ways in which school failed you and what you can do to fill the gaps on your own. The whole idea of school is to educate you so you can get a job and then make some money. But for some reason, school doesn't tell you what to do with that money so you can build wealth and live prosperously. It's not surprising that 25% of Americans have a negative or zero net worth, and that number is even higher among the young generations, with 41% of Gen Zers, my generation, having more debts than assets. Meanwhile, the average credit card balance is over $6,000, and 71% of Americans identify money as a significant cause of stress in their lives. And I'm not bringing up these statistics to lay the blame on individual Americans, not at all. We have a school system that's set up to get you a job so you can make money, but it does nothing to help you learn what to do with that money once you get it. Fortunately, it's never been easier to get educated on personal finances, either for free or for a very low cost. There are numerous big players in the personal finance world: Robert Kiyosaki, Dave Ramsey, and more recently, Graham Stephan. And they all have a slightly different approach, but they all have some things in common. They all tell you to stay out of consumer debt, to invest part of your income, and to find ways to increase your income. Ironically, none of these 3 basic lessons are taught in schools. So I encourage you to read the books or watch the YouTube videos of these guys and give yourself the financial education that school never gave you. Those of you who had some kind of sex education classes in school, I'm sure you can agree with me, what a joke. The way I learned what sex was literally with my English teacher demonstrating with her hands that the penis goes into a vagina and that's how babies are made. Meanwhile, any advice on how to have a healthy relationship with good communication skills was completely absent. One aspect of sex and relationships that school rather dangerously fails to teach us is STDs. And we are also failed by mainstream providers on this topic because the average medical school curriculum only allocates a meager 4 to 8 hours on sexual health training. It shouldn't be a surprise, therefore, that 1 in 5 Americans has an STD on any given day. That's why I trust today's video sponsor, Shameless Care, for all of my testing needs. I personally met with the founder of this company here in Chicago, and I can confidently tell you that this is the best, most comprehensive sexual health testing service I've ever experienced. So Shameless Care offers an at-home STD testing service. It arrives in discreet packaging, you do all the tests yourself, and they are incredibly easy to do. There are 4 parts to the test: a throat swab, a urine test, a blood collection, and an anal swab. Once you've collected your samples, you simply send it back using a prepaid label. Shameless Care uses certified labs to review your samples and get you your results via text. And if you need to consult with a provider about your results, that's all available within the Shameless Care system. The reason I'm using Shameless Care as my STD panel of choice is not only about the convenience, but also the thoroughness. So for ultimate peace of mind, I highly encourage you to use the link in the description and order your STD panel today. Another way in which school totally fails young men and women is with its education about nutrition and fitness. According to the CDC, 74% of adults are overweight and 43% are obese. Now, unlike personal finance, the school system does attempt to teach young people about diet and exercise. But whatever young people are being told, it's not working. I went to school in the UK, which might be a little different to the US, but I was taught that grains and starches are the best thing, animal products are bad, and cardio is the best form of exercise. Honestly, given the lifestyle I had as a teenager, it's a miracle I grew to be 6'2" and in relatively good shape. I never learned about protein, healthy fats, or building muscle. These are all things I had to figure out by myself in my 20s. And for us men, school completely fails to teach us about the importance of testosterone levels and how our lifestyle choices can affect our hormones. Recently, I've become more and more interested in this topic, and I'm taking my health more seriously than ever before. So let me know if you would enjoy seeing a video on how to have a good diet and prepare healthy food as a young man. I mentioned earlier how school fails to teach us how to handle our personal finances. But school also does a pretty terrible job at teaching us how to make money, especially how to make money for ourselves as entrepreneurs. I have a lot of love and respect for our teachers, but if you think about their disposition and their personality, teaching is one of the least entrepreneurial paths you can take. So it's not surprising that they do not educate and encourage young men to start their own businesses. But this problem isn't just limited to the school system, it also exists in our colleges and our universities. For example, I went to journalism school from 2016 to 2019, a time when blogging and social media was a very established way for a journalist or content creator to make money. But I learned nothing about how to do that or the benefits of using my skills in an entrepreneurial way. Instead, we were shepherded into very traditional, very badly paid journalism jobs. It seems to me that the university system is just another part of this compliant employee funnel as the school system. But as with personal finances, there is now a wealth of information out there for young entrepreneurs. You can sit down and listen to endless numbers of conversations with the top business people in any industry. And it's never been easier to start your own business because the internet has lowered the barrier to entry and therefore the risks involved in being an entrepreneur. Teachers told us that our appearance doesn't matter and that we shouldn't judge others based on how they look. Well, teachers lied to us and denied a fundamental truth about human behavior. School does not teach a young man how to groom himself, how to dress well, and how to create a memorable personal style. At least if you have a school uniform, you get used to the regiment of dressing well, tying a tie, wearing a jacket, etc. But these days, schools are allowing kids to turn up to class wearing sweatpants. I believe that taking pride in your appearance is just as important for your success in life as the ability to communicate and to think strategically. In decades gone by, it was expected by society that men must dress well. If your dad didn't show you how, then your teacher or your favorite movie star would. But now, we've allowed our standards to slip, and it's no surprise that young men are feeling low levels of self-esteem and frankly, not feeling like real men. Luckily, there are now more free resources out there teaching you how to dress well than ever before. Guys like Antonio Centeno over at Real Men Real Style and Raphael Schneider at the Gentleman's Gazette have become like father figures to men around the world. And if you want to meet more men who share your passion for dressing well and for being a gentleman, I highly encourage you to join the Gent Z community, which I recently launched. I'll put the link in the description and I'll be there to personally welcome you once you become a member. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.